The Philadelphia 76ers are in the market for shooters and wings. They have interest in even bringing back a guy they traded away, Robert Covington, Malik Beasley. They even thinking about bringing Jeff Green in, who I think just got released from the Utah Jazz. Even bringing Iguodala in, who refused to play for the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, you can go on and on with guys out there they're interested in. Even E'Twaun Moore down in New Orleans, who not getting no PT. And they desperate for shooting. But two names that came up that's going to pique Detroiters' interest, is Langston Galloway and Luke Kennard. So let's talk about the prospects of sending those guys to the 76ers. We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the videos. And yeah, man, Langston Galloway was the guy that everybody wanted to trade over the offseason, and he came and he improved over the offseason. Seemed like a really nice guy. He was at the Detroit Pistons Little Caesars Arena when they had the pet thing they did where you could bring your dog down there this summer. And he did some interviews, and he was a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? The Pistons seem to got a lot of good veteran characters in the locker room, and you can never really weigh their value or assess their value. But, you know, he was a guy that everybody wanted to get rid of this summer. He came back. He worked on his game. He's shooting better than ever. Luke Kennard shooting the blood out the ball. He showed more confidence this year, and I think that's attributed to, I think Derrick Rose helping him out, and then just being healthy and more comfortable. But once again, he got injured again. Okay, so a lot of people saying, oh, I'd be mad if they traded Luke Kennard and this, that, and the third. And I heard that the Pistons are willing to trade and part ways with anybody. That's what's going around. But what does the 76ers have to offer? One of the guys that is said in the Philadelphia Inquirer article, I'll link in the description, is Zaire Smith. He's from Texas Tech, 20 years old, young, seemed to be a good defender, 3-and-D guy. So that's the guy that they're willing to part with. Not sure if they're willing to part with any draft picks. But other than that, you know, you look at their team and, you know, who else, you know, who else do they really want to part with? Obviously, they're not going to part with Ben Simmons. They're not for these two. They're not going to part with Joel Embiid. They're not going to part with Tobias Harris. I mean, maybe Josh Richardson is the guy they're looking at parting with. I really like his game. He's a ball handler type of 2 and 3, and so is Ben Simmons. I think Richardson is better with the ball in his hand, but when Ben Simmons is really all he can do is distribute with the ball in his hand, he can't catch and shoot. You know, he ain't going to post up, or they not going to post him up there with you know, with the 76ers. You know, really Josh Richardson probably becomes expendable. You know, also Al Harrington is a guy that's not happy there. That's the guy that they potentially can move with. It hasn't worked with him and Joel Embiid, even with him being a stretch four. He ain't happy with his role. His bigger games come after when Joel Embiid is out. Al Horford is from Grand Blanc, Michigan as well. So that's something to look at. His brother went to Michigan for a stint. So they got some guys over there that they probably be willing to part ways with. I think Richardson, Harrington, Zaire Smith is one they said in the article. They need shooting. And I heard they was trying to trade Ben Simmons possibly for a D'Angelo Russell swap. And that was kind of a dream swap for some Piston fans to swap Dre out for D'Angelo Russell. But that'd be a big swap for them. But they looking to put shooting out there, and they got rid of a lot of shooting. When they got Jimmy Butler, they gave up Saric, they gave up Covington, and you know that was a stretch 4 and stretch 3 that could shoot the ball. So now they looking to give us something for Langston Galloway, and Luke Kennard, probably the more movable asset that they're willing to get is Langston. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take much to get Langston Galloway, maybe an expiring contract. You know, Zaire Smith, they salaries don't match up. I'm pretty sure Langston make a lot more than Zaire Smith, so they're gonna have to give up a little bit of something to get Langston Galloway as far as to make the salaries match up. But Luke Kennard is probably the guy they're looking at, a guy that would fit really, really well, you know, with Ben Simmons, a guy that can get his own shot, a guy that can, you know, I think don't get credit for being an all-around good scorer. He can get to the paint. He can, you know, got the mid-range game. He got the step back. He got the spot up. I mean, he got the whole thing working, and that's a guy that I really wouldn't necessarily want to part ways with for Zaire Smith. I wouldn't want to part ways with him, you know, for nothing less than a couple draft picks, to be honest, or unless they going to send me Josh Richardson over in some type of bundle for, you know, Luke Kennard. But the only way I'm trading Luke Kennard if I'm getting Josh Richardson back. You know, that's the only way I'm giving him back. And Luke Kennard brings a lot more than a spot-up shooter, though. You know what I'm saying? He brings a guy that's a complete scorer. He's improved his ball handling. He can get you the mid-range. He can get you at the bucket. He get you the floater. He get you the step back. He get you the three-pointer. He's a guy with a lot of potential, but in Detroit, they've been refusing to include him in trades because of his potential, but he ain't been healthy. That's the problem. He ain't been healthy. Now that he confident that he ain't got a battle with Reggie Jackson. I think Reggie Jackson being away also helped him grow as a Piston. But that's not a guy that I'm willing to part ways with unless they giving me Josh Richardson or I'm getting multiple first-round draft picks. That's it. You know, Luke Kennard is just too valuable to this team. And without Luke and without Langston, what shooting do they got? That means they will be mailing it in for the year. You know, but now if you tell me that they going to make a trade and bring in Kevin Knox or Mitchell Robinson for Dre or Dennis Smith Jr., then I will understand. If they bring it in that type of, then I will understand. But Luke Kennard too valuable to be thrown away. You know what I'm saying? For nothing. We not about to just take Zaire Smith and that's it. Y'all can have Langston like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody crying if Langston leave. You know, but Luke is more than a shooter. Luke can create. He can get his shot. He can create for others as well. So they're going to give us Josh Richardson, you know, or something of that nature to get Luke Kennard. But at the same time, Elton Brand is trying to get rid of Ben Simmons. That's their big problem. Is that Ben Simmons clogged the paint up and they don't have enough shooters to accommodate for Ben Simmons not being able to shoot. They can put as many shooters around Ben Simmons as they want to. If Ben Simmons is the point guard and people sacking off on him, you know, and they stand home at the shooters, and he not even going to shoot a free throw, mid-range jumper, or elbow, they not going nowhere with Ben Simmons until Ben Simmons develop a floater or a mid-range game. They can put, Patience Stojakovic, prime Reggie Miller out there, and a lot of different great other shooters out there. It ain't going to work. They got to find a way to get Ben Simmons, you know, shooting the ball. But they just can't have Luke Kennard, you know. They're going to have to pay a pretty penny for that. And one draft pick ain't going to be enough. That's going to be multiple. But it's not a guy that's necessarily untouchable in Luke Kennard because he's still just potential. He been injury prone. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he got a lot of potential, but would I been mad if they would have took Donovan Mitchell over him? Hell no. Donovan Mitchell by far better. But the Pistons, you know, it's hard to find shooting out here. You know, you take Langston and Luke, or you take one of them. I mean, what other shooters do they really got? Mark Hifi, he ain't healthy. Blake, he gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna have to be a pretty penny to get Luke. But the Pistons are in sale mode. They're not winning what they got. I mean, at the end of the day, they said they're only going to look to get rid of Derrick Rose if he want to leave, and I don't think Derrick Rose want to be any further away from Chicago. The only championship contender near Chicago is Milwaukee. So I don't think the Pistons going to do Milwaukee a favor. No. If you make the playoffs, that's a team you might see in the first round again. And after the shellacking they gave us last year, I doubt it. But Langston, he can go. I don't think it's going to take a lot to get Langston out of there. Probably an expiring contract or something. Because Philly don't have the cap space to absorb his contract for a draft pick. So that's something to look at, man. It doesn't surprise me that people are interested in Drummond or Luke or Langston. It's a shooter league, and Drummond is a rebound machine. So if you got one of the most dominant offensive rebounders that this game has ever seen, you know, and you shooting a lot, and all he gonna do is rebound and get the ball, or on a defensive rebound, he's an integral part to a team that's trying to, you know, eventually mold themselves into that what today's game is, and that's shooting. So if he can get offensive rebounds and give a Steph Curry, or he can give a Jimmy Butler a second look, or he can give a James Harden a second look, I'm just throwing names out there. Dre does have value from that aspect, and he only, 25, 26 years old as well. So he can help a team that's kind of right there get over the hump. But Luke and Langston, they the wave of the future. They shooters, and Luke Kennard is a complete scorer for people who don't know. So let me know what y'all think about 76ers being interested in Luke and Langston. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget, also, you can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, want to make a donation to the channel. That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Motor City Sports Talk. We gone.